Today, I stand before you as a representative of each and every little child in this world who were neglected and not properly parented. Sorry, dear ones. If you don't have time, please don't be a parent. Susan is a very beautiful 12-year-old girl who came to the counseling department of our child development center with a complaint of being adamant and arrogant at home. We started counseling sessions with her. After 2 sessions of counseling, my counselor told me, "Ma'am, we have to change the patient from Susan to her mother." I got surprised and I happened to speak to Susan. She told me, "Ma'am, I'm good in 4 subjects, but I'm pretty bad in the 5th one. I'm a good singer and I'm a good dancer, but my mother doesn't allow me to do anything at home. She always tells about that particular subject which I'm bad at. I hate my mother. I don't want to stay in my house, and my house is the biggest stress factor for me." If you don't have time, please don't be a parent. Who is a child and who is a parent? A child is a totally innocent, helpless person who comes to this world because of 2 people called parents. And parent is someone who is supposed to bring them up until they become emotionally, physically, and mentally independent. Among all other organisms in this world, human beings have got the most complicated developmental milestone. A child who is lying down at birth, he has to sit, crawl, he has to stand, and he has to walk by 1 ear. He has to play, he has to obey rules, he has to socialize by 2 ears. 1-year-old child should speak at least 5 to 6 words. And by 2 years, they should be telling all their needs in 2 words, and that too 65 words. By 3 years, they should be speaking 300 words by combining 3 words. And by 4 years, they're supposed to speak 5 words combinedly and start narration. Do you think a parent cannot have a child with all these? And a child can do all these independently? Definitely no. In the picture, you can see the sizes of human brain. And in this, the 3rd picture is a brain at 6 years old. And you can see it is 95% developed as that of an adult. Hence, the neuromaturation or the development happens from 0 to 4 years at its best. What does your child need from you? They don't need your beach villas. They don't need your diamond necklaces. They just need your time, your patience, and your experiential learning. You might have heard about the term experiential learning. These are the few experiences that you can give to your child for a proper brain development. When you talk to them, when you play with them, when you engage them in your household activities, when you take them for a walk, neurons get connected. New connections are formed in the brain, and this is called neuromaturation. So, the neuromaturation is a base of a healthy individual. The next image you can see the neurological connections when the child is born. The first one, it's 1 month, and by 2 years you can see the neurological connections is more or less similar to that of an adult. It means that a healthy child's brain will have maximum neurological connections when the child is from 0 to 4 years. Again, you go to school, do you think a child doesn't have any challenges? At home, everything is familiar, everyone is familiar. But when they go to school, it's a bunch of strangers, new rules, new commands. A preschooler has to pay attention. What are they telling? They have to arrange the orders. They have to prioritize. They have to plan. They have to execute. Again, I'm asking you, do you think a child can do all these things without your support? My next question is, are you eligible to be a parent, including me? Am I eligible to be a parent? Here is a few checklists based on my 18 years of experience in child development. My first question is, are you prepared mentally, physically, emotionally, financially to receive a human being into your life? Because a child doesn't send a request letter 1 year before, can I come to your house? It doesn't ask you. It's you. You are the reason for a child in your house. Whenever you are going to get married, you are so prepared. You make sure you have a house, you have a financial thing, you have a job. But when a child is going to come to your life, aren't you prepared physically, financially, emotionally? Because you know your partner knows their rights and they know how to keep it up. But a child is a totally innocent person. Are you really prepared? Think once more before becoming a parent. Can you provide a domestic violence-free environment? Jerry is a 5-year-old boy who came to the Child Development Center by the complaints from a teacher that he is not getting attached or he doesn't form any kinds of bonds with anyone. What happened is we counseled her mother and her mother literally cried in front of us. She said, "Ma'am, not even a day passed by in the childhood of Jerry because many incidences of domestic violence were there. The father used to bang the doors, he used to yell at the boy, and many of the days these boy was crying before he was sleeping. And what happened, he doesn't have any kinds of attachment to both the parents. He doesn't have anyone in the world. And the same thing happened when he reached school. He doesn't have any kind of bonds with any of the teachers. Though the teacher tries to love him more and more, he doesn't want to form any kind of relationship. He doesn't have any friends. He is by himself. This is the side of traumatic effects of domestic violence. This is about screen time, why everybody keeps telling about screen. An experiment was done in rats. Young rats were exposed to screen 6 hours a day for 10 days, and by 10 days the rat was hyperactive. You know the brilliant cartoon research that is going to happen here? Every time when they develop a cartoon, they keep a real screen with the cartoon and a next screen with real objects. A mother going to market, it's a real video. They make the screen in front of the child and they look at the child and see when the takes his eyes from the cartoon screen to the real screen. They edit that part. They are so brilliant in developing the cartoons. And the expert says from 0 to 2 years, you're not supposed to give screen to your child. It affects his neuromaturation. Again, can you provide a healthy food to your child? When giving a healthy food, you're saving the child's health. Because there are so much of lifestyle disorders, obesity, metabolic, these are for children these days. Children doesn't have money to go and buy healthy food from store. It is you people who provide this food. Hence, you are totally responsible for a healthy lifestyle to your children. Whenever a child looks at a screen, what happens is, and reading a book. When reading a book, they have a lot of imagination. So they imagine there was a prince, there was a palace. But when they see in the screen, it's a sensory overload. They see so many of things. Increase of cortisol, stress, dopamine, everything is released in the brain and they lose the cognitive effect or functioning of the brain. It is controlled by the frontal lobe of your brain. And there are different types of parenting as per theory. Authoritarian, father decides everything. Permissive, yes, a child decides when to go and come back. Negligent, you're least bothered to see the rays of the sun at school. Last one is authoritative, which experts say is the best one. Your son is out, but you decide, please come back home by 8 p.m. This is called authoritative parenting, and you decide which is best for your children. And previous generation, they used to fill the gap of parenting when parents were busy. When you want to form a strong relationship with your child, start from right from the beginning. Spend at least 30 minutes a day without advices, without screen, without rules, to keep that bond with your child. And I hope AI can replace everything in the world except parents. Be kind. Have concern to this little one who is born to this world because of you. Once again, if you don't have time, please don't be a parent. Thank you.